Looks like I'm live. And here we go. Hey YouTube, this is Peck Tech. Oh, that sounds a little echoey, doesn't it? You guys hear a big echo? Ooh, how does that sound? Does it sound any better? Let me know if we get an echo. It should be okay. I've got my cam on the steampunk tank. We're looking at my little fishies here. I'll actually hit this. Light bulbs, God, what? All right. I'm hearing an echo in here, and I'm hoping that it's not coming through to you guys. Do you guys hear it? I just want to make sure before I get going and people are like, oh, this sucks. Let's see. Maybe if I turn my monitor off. Okay. Now I don't hear an echo anymore. Hopefully you guys didn't hear an echo at all. Not seeing any comments about it in the comments. I'm going to assume it's okay. I'm going to pop a little food in the aquarium, and hopefully uh, my little loaches start running around like crazy. I've got my camera here on the steampunk tank, kind of looking inside of it. This is sort of a fail before. Hopefully, hopefully it'll do better this time. I had it on an extension cord, and I think that's what messed it up. All right, so the subject matter is one that's near and dear to a lot of people's heart. When I started, when I did the, here they come. So when I did the video a while back called "Hard Times," talking about um, getting furloughed and stuff like that, I had a lot of suggestions. Like a lot of people were very interested in um, creating tanks on a budget, and there's a lot of really good ways to do that. I thought I'd run through a couple, maybe take some questions from the peanut gallery and see if you guys had some suggestions. So if you've got your number one suggestion uh, for a budget aquarium or doing aquariums on a budget, feel free to throw it into the comments. If you're watching a rerun, you can throw it in the comments down below. And there's this little guy. I love those guys. All right, so let's talk about the aquarium in general. Okay, so on my show, I I tend to showcase products. Like if you look at my views, like if you looked at my oh, this is much better than I thought it would be. If you looked at my as I'm looking at my guys, I need to switch. I'm getting distracted. Um, if you look at what does really good on my channel, it tends to be things like uh, very specific products. So that's kind of why I got on the fluval kick, where I show tons and tons of okay, tons and tons of fluval products like the Flex and stuff like that. If I have a video with a Flex in it, it does about 6 or 17 times better than a video without a Flex in it. And the thing is, it gets real addictive as content wise, as far as wanting to do more, wanting to do stuff that people want to watch and people want to see. I'm still not sure why. If it's people shopping for it, or people that have the same, or they're thinking about doing a tank like that. I'm not sure why those do so much better. Um, I've tried to do a couple of discount. Hello, Florida. I'm trying to do some discount aquarium stuff too. In fact, my last video, escaping with scraps, is basically just stuff on my garage. But I have a lot of stuff. Every time I go to my aquarium store, I'm picking up new rocks and pieces of wood and all kinds of different things like that. And it's not cheap. It's not an actual kind of a budget thing to do that. One budget thing might be to find stuff out of your yard, uh, either sticks or rocks. This could get kind of tricky if you decide to pick up sticks, or driftwood. What you want to be sure of is that you want to make sure you want to make sure you know what wood that you're working with. If you know what wood you're working with, you can go on the internet and kind of do some research and see what other people have said about adding it into your tank, like how safe it is. A lot of roots are what you predominantly see in driftwood, because they're a little bit harder and stuff. Uh, and they have more interesting shapes than branches and things like that. Manzanita wood is one I know that they find all over California, all those manzanita trees, to trim them up and boil them up and put them in your tank. If you can find hardscaping materials like that, that's a great way to save money. Another thing is, consider using an air pump. Air pumps are generally a lot cheaper. Also, if you're doing a fish room, especially one where, hey, we got a bunch of people in here. Hi from Toronto, Spokane, Washington. Simple nobody. Hey, hey, huge fan. Love watching every one of your. Thank you very much. And New Zealand. Wow, internet goes all the way to New Zealand. That's awesome. So, I hate it when people say that. I don't know why I say that. I'm sorry. All right, so consider using an air pump and a sponge filter. This the filter can save you a lot of money, and the sponge filters are sort of the unsung heroes of the aquarium hobby, especially if you're doing fish only tank. If your focus is on breeding fish or raising fish, uh, you don't need a fancy hang on the back filter. You don't need a fancy canister filter. Those are great if you want to get one, or if you find one on discount someplace. That's fantastic. If not, consider consider the humble sponge filter, because that's going to give you a lot of bang for your buck as far as like effective filtration. I just had a question. my daughter, my daughter just sent me a super chat. Buy yourself something nice, kid. Hey, thanks. Why don't you like not spend your money on me, okay, Kerrigan? I had a question come in. I'm going to take questions probably at the end, but I'll interrupt for Tracy there. She says, "Can you mention any medications you use on new fish from a pet store?" I don't medicate my fish as I bring them in. That's not part of my quarantine process, and I generally don't recommend medications. I will recommend General Cure because it's kind of across the board and benign enough, but I don't usually recommend medications just because I don't feel like I'm learned enough to really give you medical advice even for your pets. So just so you know, but I don't medicate my stuff as it comes in. Now back to the subject. I want to talk about another thing. Substrate. I use really expensive substrate when I build my tanks, but if you want to skip that, something that's a little bit cheaper is to use root tabs and sand. What you're seeing there on the screen there is actually that's a little bit nicer sand, but I use something called pull filter sand. Pull filter sand is really inexpensive for a lot of it. You can do a really big tank if you're trying to cover it quite a bit. and then strategically put root tabs in where your plants are going to be, I think that that works really super well. It's what I used, most of what I use. Like I kind of did a 50-50, and that's something else you can do. You can put something nice like fluorite, something crunchy, down in the bottom. It's not super expensive or super cheap. It's kind of in the middle. So you can do a whole bunch of fluorite all over the bottom, and then layer it up with some pool filter sand. And that's a really that's one you can kind of even avoid root tabs. You don't necessarily need root tabs, as long as you got something for the roots to eat on at the bottom. Root tabs do help, but they can get expensive too, depending on the size of your tank. But it's really budget friendly to try and use uh, pool filter sand if you want a substrate on your bottom. Like I said, some of you are fish only, and the fish only folks definitely don't need to worry about that. Sponge filter and another tank, and you're great. Which brings me to the tanks. So everybody by now, if you're new to fish keeping and you don't know, there's something called the dollar per gallon sale. Dollar per gallon sale is usually an Aquarium sale that they have at Petco, and PetSmart doesn't do it, like Petco and another one, Pet Supplies Plus. They tend to do those dollar per gallon sales, and so many people. Uh, Toby says the pool filter sand has quite a few downfalls though. Watch out. And he posted well, yeah, I haven't seen any problems with it, but I'll be sure to watch your video and see what you suggest there. So the dollar per gallon. Now, Aqueon tanks, my 210 is actually an Aqueon tank. My 20 gallons an Aqueon tank back here. They're okay. They're really super basic tanks. Um, they don't come with a lid. You're gonna have to factor that into the price of that. Really, your best bet is going to be on Craigslist. That's right. So if you're over here on Craigslist and just go shopping for aquariums on there, you got to be careful. A lot of times, like people overvalue the price of their aquarium. Like this used heater, it's very questionable. when uh, when you're in the go cheap mode, it's real tempting to get like kind of a package deal or something with a filter. I gotta tell you, this filter I wouldn't bother even using. This tank kind of looks like this decoration doesn't appeal to me. The substrate doesn't appeal to me. That looks like what? It's a top fin aquarium. That's probably what, a 20 tall or something. I don't know. It might 20 or 30. I don't know. For that price, I could go to I can get one of those dollar per gallon 20 talls and get paid $20 for it. I don't necessarily need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. It's just kind of crap, you know. Um, on contrast, there's this 25-gallon aquarium, this nano cube. Those are pretty expensive. What you want to be aware of is if they have a stand. Okay, that stand for this aquarium is $100 of the price. You can make your own stand if you're a little bit better with woodworking and stuff. This light that's on here, if it's salt water, it's hard to tell from here. But like if it's salt water, it could be worth quite a bit too. It looks like it probably is a saltwater one. Yeah, so that maybe not a bad deal, especially if you're doing a saltwater tank. Let's see what we got here. $2,000 saltwater aquarium. Let's see what they're offering here. Can I make this bigger? Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Join. I'll put this. Let me move my mouse is over here. Let me move my face over this way. Okay. Back to here. We zoom in a little bit. See, now my face is in the way again. Oh, this is so bizarre. Okay. That's a little They look like they got a lot of electronics in there. Yeah, that's interesting, but you gotta be careful. You got a nice little thing here, like a refugium light. It looks like that's actually a pretty nice setup if you got $2 grand to spend. So yeah, this is somebody that kind of this particular person kept all their boxes. They've obviously had it set up before, if that's their pictures. So they had it set up before, and now it ended up looking like that. They took a really good care of their stuff. So even though this is a little bit more money, this this might be a great deal, because look at how nicely they took care of everything. Okay, I don't know. $2 grand's a lot though. $2 grand's a lot for most budget. It's not really a budget thing, is it? $100 for this 30-gallon tank and stuff. This is a terrible deal. It's a terrible deal. That these little things in here, you find much better deal probably at a yard sale. The newer things look like the more they're going to cost, unfortunately. But what you want is somebody that's gave up early, where it's really not terribly expensive. Okay, 20-gallon aquarium with hamster supplies. Okay, that's another thing. If you see a cheap aquarium, ask if it had reptiles or hamsters in it. You probably don't want to put fish in it after it's had the reptiles or hamsters. I'm checking my comments real quick. Uh, all right, people are just talking about other stuff. That's fine. All right, so and some semi trucks. Those are a terrible deal for aquariums. Okay, here we go. Chillers. All right, monster aquarium fish wanted. 10 and 5.5-gallon aquarium. I see that that's an Aqueon deal. They're just trying to get what they paid for. That's your typical Aqueon tanks. Sometimes deals like this are sometimes great, where they're just chock full of stuff, but you gotta watch out. I mean, undergravel filter, those are old school. Nobody cares about those anymore. All these fake plants and stuff. So what? You don't need any of this cheap background blah. It's old fish food. My goodness, who needs any of that? I like shopping for things. You get a really critical eye after you've bought a number of things like this. Uh, if you don't want to use a sponge filter, something that you could think about doing too. And let me switch back here. Oh, my mouse where it's supposed to be here. So if you don't want to use a sponge filter, uh, another thing to think about is hang on the back filters. Uh, but I warn you that some of the less expensive ones are just really, I think, the best bang for your buck. And I don't usually recommend products like on this particular stream, because what you want to do is find used things that are as good as possible. So you might find a really great used canister filter, or a really great used hang on the back filter or whatever. But if you find like uh, I really love the Fluval hang on the back filters, the Aqua Clear line. They're usually inexpensive, even new. They're pretty inexpensive. You can get them on eBay pretty cheap. In fact, let's take a look at that. Yeah, I was looking up aquariums on eBay, and this is like local stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. 150-gallon. What? Starting bid $200. Do I have to come take it out of your house though? Oh, I don't know. Would you like an aquarium like that was kind of low like that? I don't know. I don't know if my wife would let me like take out part of our sink and put that in there. That would be kind of funny. Uh, Rambo says, "What's the cheapest way to buy plants? Heavily planting a new tank can get really expensive. You want to look for. I did my first planted tank. Actually, I think it was off eBay, and you can find. Sometimes you can find like bulk deals. Like, let's see. Don't do the seeds. The seeds, save that for more advanced things. And of course, you can go to Dustin's Fish Tank's got like beginner setups. You got to shop around. This time of year, a lot of people do different types of things. Uh, frog bit for $10. Boy, that's expensive. I throw away that much frog bit like every other day. Maybe I should be selling it. But you can find like bundle deals. What do they call those? Let's see if there's a if bundles pulls up anything. Live aquarium plant bundles. Yeah, so you got like 35 like package bundle deal. So it just comes with like a wide selection of things. If you don't know specifically what you want, like you're just brand new, the way I started, now this might not be right for you. There are other things like your absolute cheapest way, if we're going budget, if we're really sticking to the theme and going budget, the cheapest way is to find a club and become a member and go in and swap and trade with other people that grow it. Because I throw away stuff like this, but I don't feel like selling it. I definitely don't want to get on eBay and try to sell it, right? I'll throw away a stem here, a stem there. You can take those couple of stems and make them into a whole aquarium full of plants, whichever. Ah, yeah, you could get a whole aquarium full of plants with just a few stems. Uh, let's see. Love your videos, really helping me through quarantine. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. That's really nice. Hello, Bebop. Okay, so yes, Dustin's Fish Tanks has bundle deals too. Let's just be fair. Okay, I got my mouse on the right screen. Uh, I can't remember his page, but I know this will work. We'll just compare. We'll kind of compare a little bit. Always in stock. Yeah, he usually has some bundle deals too. You got to kind of watch and see what's for sale. If you get on his mailing list, he'll tell you different things. I'm not doing any of this, but here later. No thanks. Let me put that up on another screen. I wanted to see shop by stuff. So he has packages, plant mixes. Let's see how he compares. Sorry, Dustin, if you watch this later. Okay. Sold out, sold out. So he's obviously in kind of a down period as far as like these particular combos. But he's got this one. So that's a pretty reasonable thing, like $20. That's not too bad to kind of get you started. What'll happen is you'll get a whole bunch of plants, and some will live and some will not. Some are going to die, and you'll be able to replant those. The ones that live, you'll propagate them out, and you'll end up with a bunch of plants. That like the stuff I put in that scraping for scraps challenge. I bought a tiny little plant, and now it's in all these aquariums. All right, let's see. there are a bunch of places like this. You've got buseplants.com. They tend to be a little bit more expensive. Buse is kind of hard to buy online. I just said Dustin just because I remember him. I remember him the most. Like he's just somebody that's kind of been around. It's been around a long time, just like me. And let's see. I was trying to remember that my friend in New York with the plant packs. I'm forgetting. Oh my gosh, I'm just on the spot, so I'm just not gonna try. All right, I'll think of it later. But yeah, eBay, a guy like Dustin or some other people, those are all great ways to save some money on your aquariums. Let's see. Even Etsy has some shops full of that sell aquatic plants. Really, I didn't know that. That's one thing I've never looked on Etsy for. So let's do that. This is kind of fun. Shopping with friends. Oh, I'm back here. Boop, boop. The live stream where Sean displays how badly he spells. Let's see. Let's look on there. Live. Wow, look at all the aquarium plants on Etsy. I did not know. Well, some of these aren't aquarium plants, like succulents obviously aren't. That's a lot of, oh, these are really neat. I've actually got a bunch of these in my other tank. Been growing these out recently. I don't see a lot of bundle deals and stuff, but there's definitely places all over the internet. All over the internet to look for stuff like that. How cool. All right. It looks like my little fishies have gone into hiding again. I can't keep throwing food in there. They'll get they'll get fat. They'll get fat and mad at me. Uh, oh, and I wanted to see here too how long I've been going. All right. So I want to hear your favorite budget aquarium products or what your favorite recommendation is. And I want to know what you like to do to save money when you do aquariums. Hello, Wilmington, North Carolina. Uh, Fluval. Fluval. One reason I really like them, and one reason I think they're pretty popular is well, they're not super expensive, but they're not super cheap. Like they actually look even more expensive. I think than they are, because they have every now and then they'll do something that seems kind of cheap or not as high quality. But for the most part, it's pretty good quality for not a big price. So I really like that. Let's see. Oh, H2O plants. Thank you, Ginger. That is exactly who I was trying to think of earlier. Aquarium Co-op usually has plants, abuse plants. Okay, and J&J's Aquatics has plants. Very interesting. Um, organic potting mix for aquarium soil. That's right. You could do a dirted tank. Another thing Dustin's kind of famous for too. I did it one time. Well, I did it twice. The second time was a complete disaster. The first time worked out great though. For a long time until I went to clean it. It was kind of a mess to clean it up, but that's like at the end. You don't think about that years down the road, right? But yeah, you can do potting soil, and you know the long and short of it is you've got maybe an inch or two of potting soil, about double that of some 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 sort of sand or something to kind of top it and cap it off, and then you've got a big, thick, really nutrient-rich source of protein for your protein, nutrient-rich source for your plant roots and stuff, which was going to do really well. Let's see. The dollar store is great for budget aquarists. Okay, yeah. See, the Petco in my area has both plant display tank and plant cell tank, both running auto dosing system and CO2. They don't sell tube plants. Interesting. I use Seachem Safe for dechlorinator because it goes further. Oh, what a great suggestion. Yeah. So, Seachem Safe, if you never see it, it comes in a tiny little bottle. It's a powder. And just a scoop of that powder does what? 25 gallons of dechlorinator, something like that. It's super concentrated. You want to make sure, try not to get it on your hands or anything like that. But it's super concentrated. I usually use that when I fill up my pond because there's such a large amount of water to put into the pond. Very good suggestion. Seachem Safe. And let's see. Hey, Aquarium Co-op's on. Hey, Corey, good to see ya. Got a headache today. Gotta blast it. I suppose getting some lunch is gonna help. Okay, go get some tacos, Corey. Uh, let's see. What is You know what? Let's look at Seachem Safe. That's really neat. What a great suggestion. I had all but forgotten about that. It's really hard. Thinking's hard. Just kidding. All right. Give me to the Google. All right, yeah, there it is. It comes in a little tiny bottle. Cost that was like probably $20 or so. Yeah, $25 here at Chewy's, or huge thing of it. Oh my gosh, this would probably last you your entire life. Um, wow, and even cheaper here. I was wondering if it would say how much. Oh, internet's slowing down. All right. Okay, let's see if it says. Standard dose. Wow. Very concentrated stuff. Yes, that goes a really, really a long way. I like it. Great suggestion. Let's see. And scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. Hey, I got the three. Fish for thought. Fish for thought. You're getting a lot of love. I think you're a great YouTuber too, by the way. I really like your channel. And Corey too, of course. Of course, right? Fish from Fever's on here. He's a fantastic fella and a local fella. Hopefully we'll get together soon. Melamine sponges, colanders for straining substrate, fish nets, etc., all for $1. Oh, for the dollar store place. That's that's great. That's like non-fishy stuff. That's like fishy integrated, the fishy adjacent stuff. That's great. You've got the let's see Etsy and let's see. People asking questions here and there. Fisherman fever. Ginger, there may be an end of tub season guppy swap being planned. Oh yeah, yeah. For the fish themselves, for the fish themselves, I would say definitely go for the clubs. Go for the clubs, and if there are no clubs around you, find Facebook groups. Facebook groups, I think, are like the thing that happens kind of before a club. So I think that they're easier to form. You're more likely to see those things pop up. Boy, this view's getting kind of boring. You guys aren't moving around very much in there. There's a little. I guess I could just hold it here. That's not very cool. Hey, guy. A little bed up there. I'm a bed of fish. I wish you could just like set it like this. That's not too bad. He'll move and it'll be boring again. Let's see. I was like, hey, totally disrupting my calm. He just kind of sits down there. It's funny. All right, so DIY canister filters. Yeah, the DIY. I've avoided the DIY just because I'm not great at building things. Sometimes I can kind of like upscale things. I could take one thing and make it into something else. I'm better at that than I am just straight up making new things. So that's kind of interesting. DIY, of course, the key on DIY, and many others have all kinds of different things that you can make. And especially canister filters, they're kind of fun to make, but it can be dangerous. Be careful making things where water comes out of your aquarium and then gets cycled and put back in. Let's see, Platy, what fish would be great with zebra Danya's female beta? I think it's a male beta actually. Uh, I've never really kept zebra Danyas. I imagine uh, another set of school of fish would probably be nice. Platies, obviously, you know about platies or you like them a lot. They would be great with those. Um, Sometimes, if you want one really interesting fish to mix with a bunch of small fish, I recommend a Dwarf Cichlid. If you get just a male or just a female, you probably won't chase them around too much. Um, Sometimes having a school of Danyos or something is great as a dither fish to bring out other fishes and stuff. So let's see. I buy a mixed pack of medical syringes. This is Gen G's Aquatics. I buy a mixed pack of syringes in bulk off Amazon. I use them accurately measure out 5 milliliters of water for my liquid water test kits. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I started using I can't remember what this came in, but I pulled this out. I used this. I came in something something innocuous, and I didn't use it for its purpose. Like I just set this aside from whatever I got it out of. But I put it with my test kit. That's why it's kind of bent. Kind of sits in my test. I've been testing my waterfall tank, which is like extremely toxic right now. I did a little experiment to see if I can add some activate in and get the ammonia spike. The ammonia immediately spiked from that fluval stratum that I put in there. So anyway, back to the subject. Yes, you could use getting syringes and stuff like that's a really great way and an inexpensive thing to do. Let's see. All right. right. Well, I'm not going to drag the live stream out, a real long time. If any of you have any specific questions for me, feel free to throw them in, or any suggestions on budget stuff, and especially if you're watching this on rerun, feel free to give me your budget suggestions in the comments. Um, one budget thing, if I was gonna tell you something to you know, not focus on the budget for, that would be the food. Uh, oh, Toby has a tip. It says a good way to test rocks aquarium safe is to pour a spoonful of vinegar onto the rock. If the vinegar fizzles, then the rock is no go. That's great advice, Toby, and that's something that, like, if you're looking on a budget, if you're out there scavenging for rocks, uh, put a spoonful of vinegar on it and see if it sizzles. If it does, it's reactive. Um, I don't know if reactive necessarily means you shouldn't use it, but it definitely means it'll change your water parameters. Probably no go is safer, as Toby suggests on there. Hey, someone's Hillstream loaches bred for them. That's hard to do. I think Hillstream loaches are very, very particular about their environment. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for coming by and talking to me. I had a great time, and I'll hopefully do more live streams. I'd like to do maybe one a week or so until my furlough's over, and then I'll probably be back in my regular schedule. All right, I'm going to work on a video for this week. I'll see you this Sunday. Uh, I'm doing another video right now, which is, I want to move this over just a second here. Oh, thank you, Fish Room. Thank you, Mr. Fever. Right now, I'm actually working on something else. It's a little different than I would typically show on my channel. As you might know, over Easter, a tornado hit Chattanooga, and I have been that is not the one I wanted. I've been working on a video about the tornado damage. I shot a bunch of drone footage. Oh, I need to switch this to proxy mode. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of devastation there. Now, for my my Patreon viewers, I actually did a live stream today where I showed you how the clones work, and that was really interesting. And I talked about this a little bit, but yeah, there's quite a bit of damage in Chattanooga. It's fascinating. I flew my drone over a whole lot of it. If you've got me on Facebook, you might have seen a little bit of this already. This is me kind of lining up the shot. I was thinking about doing a little edited version of this, just showing the damage from all these the tornadoes, and kind of talking about how people's lives can change in just a matter of moments. I'm working on that video now, even though I should be probably working on another fish tank setup or something else. I'm kind of taking a break. Last week's video sort of took a lot out of me. It was all week on that little silly 10-gallon tank. So take a little break before I try to build anything new. And I thought I'd do a live stream and just kind of talk to you guys and share what's going on with me. Talk a little bit about budget stuff. So a lot of people are really interested in how to save money. This is my mother-in-law's house. If you look at the houses around her that are just destroyed, you'll see that she got very, very lucky. Look at the trees that fell in a circle all around her. Huge trees just missing her by not a lot. And the ones that would have fallen on her stayed up. So really, really interesting. I'm hoping that you guys will. I'm hoping. Oh, I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy something like that. I need to move this over here. But that will. No. That will probably be. That'll probably be my next video, and then I'll have a fish video for Sunday, hopefully. I really appreciate you guys coming in and talking to me. It's been great hanging out with you. I promise to do more live streams soon. I've lost my chat window somewhere in here. There we go. Let's see if we have any more questions here on the way out. Thanks for the stream. Have a good day. This is Ginger. Sierra Cypher and Biohome Ultimate. What is better? I don't know. I love Biohome. That's really good stuff. I've never tried the other one. That's why I can't say. How many Panda Cories should I put in a Megaflex? 7. 7 and 9, probably. We have a lot of damage in my area, too. Look at my Petco. Okay. That's what my mom's head will look like if I bring out another fish tank. That's funny. Oh. Charlie rocks. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's a bastard. I'm just joking around. All right. You folks take care. I love you all. It's been great seeing you. Thank you for coming in. I'll be back. I'll do more live streams. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of topics you're interested in. I'd love to know. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.